facilitator, and I'll let her introduce herself, and then we can start the event.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Linda Black Elk. I'm a descendant of the Catawba Nation, and I'm also Duka from Northern Mongolia. And I am an ethnobotanist. I teach at United Tribes Technical College. And this is the third in a series of workshops that I've been doing for NACC, where we've been making different stuff. And each time they've sent out, I don't know how many you all have participated in, but each time they send out a kit, which you hopefully received. And we've been making some amazing stuff. I was just telling them how rare it is to have the organizational skills, to work with people who have the organizational skills to pull this kind of thing together. So it's been really fun. Thanks, Fred, so much for your prayer, and really appreciate that, Miigwech. Yeah, I'm happy to be on here, even though it's with a lot of Ojibways. Just kidding. I love you guys, like so much. But I can go ahead and get started unless there's anything else we need to open up with, Isabel. Any other?
I don't have anything else for you. Sarah, I think you're going to handle questions. So shoot them out in the chat box. Then Sarah will ask Linda anything that you wanted to know.
Awesome. Yep. If you have any questions as we're going along, feel free to ask as we're going, because I know sometimes it's hard to keep stuff to the end. We're actually making a couple of really simple things today, and I'm going to talk about the plants that are going into those. But we can also talk about some other stuff as we go through this process. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Okay, so we're making a couple of different things today, and if you guys got your kit, you also got a couple of recipes that I put together with Isabel's help and Sarah's help. And these are recipes I've actually used for a long time, but I wanted to also give you guys some perspective. So we're gonna make a sugar scrub today, okay? Because this is really all about self-care. Now, let me first say that self-care goes way beyond sugar scrubs and bubble baths, okay? Self-care is about how you're doing up here and in here as much as it's about what's going on out here, right? Sugar scrubs are awesome and bubble baths are awesome, and it's so good to be able to relax and take care of our skin, because that will of course help us take care of what's inside of our skin. But it's really important that you're also doing the things that you're supposed to be doing for your mental health, which of course might include meditation and prayer and singing. Getting outside is something that I personally do. But there's also all kinds of things that you can do for your mental health. I feel like when I take, part of the deal with using a sugar scrub, okay, is that you are taking some time for yourself. So not only are you using this sugar scrub, which is amazing for your skin, you're actually taking a step back for a few minutes, and you are taking a few minutes out of your day to say, okay, I'm gonna take care of myself. You're stopping, right? You cannot be on your cell phone while you're using a sugar scrub. So you're actually taking some time out to relax and break away from it all. So that's part of using a sugar scrub isn't just what it does externally for your skin. It's also about taking a few minutes of relaxation and even meditation to take care of yourself, okay? So I wanted to say that. And then I also wanted to say that the hand sanitizer that we're making today is amazing. And numerous studies have been done on this combination of essential oils and their use as a hand sanitizer, their use as an antimicrobial, not just killing bacteria, but destroying viruses as well. And so this hand sanitizer is amazing for the time that we're in right now, when we definitely need to be thinking about that. Hand washing, of course, is just as important, but having some good hand sanitizer around that you can use while you're at work, while you're at the store, whatever. Luckily, it's in a size that you can carry with you in your purse. or your pocket even. You know, that's just really essential right now. But I wanted to say this stuff doubles as an amazing insect repellent, okay? When I make insect repellent, these are the essential oils I use. Often I'll use a couple others as well in addition to these, but this is fantastic. I never, ever put DEET on my skin, okay? And I won't go into it too deeply, but if you have time, Google the impact of DEET being absorbed into your skin, especially long-term use, okay? Don't put DEET on your children's skin either, because it can be a hormone disruptor. It can, you know, cause cancer, all kinds of stuff. So what I do, I still use DEET, okay? I've worked in a lot of tropical countries. I worked in Guatemala, for example, and the mosquitoes there are the size of hummingbirds, okay? So what I do when I'm in a place where there are lots of mosquitoes, and I lived in Minnesota with my Ojibwe brothers and sisters for a while. I know what the mosquitoes are like there this time of year, and it's insane. Okay, so what I do, I use DEET, but I use this like hand sanitizer we're making today. That's what I'll use on my bare skin. I'll actually spray it on my bare skin, and then the DEET, I will actually spray onto my clothes before I put them on, okay? So I kind of have a double thing there, and it works great, even in the worst of mosquito atmospheres, okay? So I wanted to say those things. I also, we're gonna get started on the sugar scrub, but I wanted to show you guys something that I was actually showing Isabel and Ashley and Sarah a few minutes ago. Someone sent me this salt scrub as a gift, okay? So this is a salt scrub. It has a really long list of ingredients on the back, which I do not like, okay? When I'm putting something on my skin, the thing that that's always in my head is that everything you put on your skin gets absorbed into your body. So this bougie, expensive salt scrub, this thing costs $50, okay? 50 bucks for this. Every one of those ingredients is getting absorbed into my skin if I use it. And you know, there's some natural ingredients in here too, like sunflower oil and lavender oil and things like that. But you know, that's a lot of ingredients, and this costs $50. What you guys are making today is even better for your skin. It's simpler, it's more organic, it's more naturally derived ingredients. Personally, I would much rather use what we're making today than this bougie $50 salt scrub that you can buy online, okay? So I just wanted to say that to also let you guys know what a gift it is to get these kits. I mean, I'm gonna use this when we're done, you know, I'm gonna be using this, you know, and so, or I suppose I could give it away as a gift if I were really nice, but I don't know if I'm quite that nice because these things are amazing. So much stuff happens to our skin on a daily basis, even, you know, like when we're outside, but even if we're just sitting in our house, our skin is actually getting bombarded by all kinds of things. And so we really need to refresh our skin from time to time, you know? And using a salt scrub or a sugar scrub is fantastic for that. And it's so relaxing, so good for our skin, gets rid of dead skin cells, and actually has been shown to prevent skin cancer in the long term because you're sloughing off all of those dead skin cells and the skin cells that might be mutating. So yeah, so let's get started on that. If you have your kit with you, you can do this along with me. Otherwise, you can watch this or just watch the directions and do it later. So I just have a bowl in front of me, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but sometimes I find it easier to take my ingredients and mix them in a bowl before putting them back into the jar. So I'm just taking my beautiful, that's gorgeous, coarse ground raw sugar, and I'm putting it into a bowl, and like if your sugar has caked up a little bit, just break it up. It's super simple to break it up if it's caked up at all, you know? So you want it nice and fine and even, broken up, okay? And then I personally love using traditional medicines in my salt and sugar scrubs, okay? There's a note on your recipes here about the scrubs. I use both salt and sugar scrubs at different times. Salt is kind of drying, okay? So if you're really prone to oily skin, a salt scrub is great for you. And you can even use a really gentle salt scrub on your face like once a week, and it helps to dry up those oils, okay? And it helps to keep your skin clear. But I love, a sugar scrub is so nice and moisturizing, so that's what I use. I use a sugar scrub probably 3 or 4 times a week, you know? And it's so nice to just take that time out for myself. But my sugar scrubs almost always have traditional plants in them. It's never just sugar. And these plants help to make them more moisturizing, but they're also refreshing. So you guys got a bag of ground mint, okay? And if you open that up, you can actually smell it. It has a gorgeous pepperminty, kind of spearminty smell. So that's fantastic. And so I'm just gonna actually take my spoon and add a really good sized spoonful or 2, totally up to you. With this much sugar, you could add this whole thing, but I'm just gonna add probably, it looks like about 3 tablespoons of it. Oh no, that's probably more like 2 tablespoons of the ground mint. And then we also got a beautiful bag of lavender flowers. And lavender is one of my most favorite herbs in the world. That smell is amazing. Lavender is relaxing, okay? Whether it's lavender oil, lavender flowers, there's tons of oil in the flowers, by the way. Lavender is a relaxation herb, okay? So if I wanted to, I could just make my sugar scrub. If I wanted kind of a relaxing sugar scrub, you know, that just made me just feel good all over and was so nice and relaxing because of the aroma of the lavender flowers, I might just add the lavender. If you were looking for something that was really revitalizing, refreshing, something to help wake you up in the morning, and something that's actually gonna make your skin feel kind of cool, okay? And to my friends out there who might be premenopausal or going into menopause, a lot of times you know what hot flashes are like, right? And so you want something that's cooling. Or if you have a friend or a mom or a grandma or an auntie who might be going through menopause, a mint sugar scrub is one of the best gifts you can give them, because when they're experiencing a hot flash, that mint really helps to cool them down. So ground mint into the sugar is like your refreshing, revitalizing sugar scrub here. And it's gonna be so nice and cooling on the skin. Also, if you know someone who has eczema and psoriasis and really needs help with their skin, using a mint sugar scrub, okay? And remember, mint grows all over Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, you know, down into Nebraska, well, all over the United States are various species of mint, but this mint grows all over Minnesota. In fact, I found some probably less than a mile from NACC. So it grows all over. But this, if you know someone who has, you know, like a skin issue like psoriasis or eczema, it's actually wonderfully cooling for that, and it helps to diminish the itching, okay? So there's so many uses for this. If you wanted to have sort of a really nice combination of the mint and the lavender, they go really well together. Even though one is cooling and the other is relaxing, sometimes that can be really nice to have that combination of relaxing and cooling. Lavender is also great for skin inflammation, like eczema and psoriasis, so you can certainly use both of them together for your skin, okay? So, and I'm gonna do that. So I have my mint and my sugar in here, and now I'm just gonna add my beautiful lavender flowers into there. And then, now let me show you, I'm gonna, just because I love you guys, I'm gonna open up this bougie salt scrub that I got in the mail, just to show you the texture. Different people like different textures for their salt and sugar scrub. Some people like a dry sugar scrub. So like I have friends who will actually just do this. This is the salt, the sugar and the mint and the lavender flowers. And they'll keep this in a dish right in their bathroom just like this. And when they're in the shower, they'll take handfuls of it and scrub, okay? I like a scrub that also moisturizes at the same time. And so I really like to put coconut oil in mine, but I'm just gonna show you the texture of this salt scrub that was gifted to me, just so you can see. This is a really popular sort of texture for one. So if you guys can see that. Do you see? Can you kind of get a gist of that texture, right? So there's an oil in here. I think that they called it sunflower oil is what the ingredients said. And it makes it moisturizing. So you're getting the effect of the salt, but you're getting the moisture of the oil. And I really like that, okay, when I'm talking about a scrub. So I have my sugar, my mint, and my lavender. I've just poured them all together in a bowl. And then you guys are super lucky because you also got this really gorgeous, what I'm assuming is probably organic coconut oil. The texture is fantastic. And I'm just gonna put the whole thing into my sugar scrub, okay? And I did give you on this sheet, I gave you a recipe with measurements and everything. I never measure, I just eyeball things, but I know measurements are important for some people. So I'm just gonna squeeze all this right into my bowl. And now you guys can see why I'm using the bowl instead of the jar, just because it's easier to mix in the bowl, okay? So just to show you guys, right? I just have my coconut oil and everything in there. And now I'm gonna mix, okay? And I'm not gonna, this is not necessarily the neatest process in the world to mix all this stuff together. You can warm your coconut oil up a little bit if you want, but you don't have to. It will come together just fine. You just need to be patient and keep mixing and mixing until you get the desired texture. But wanted to, like, you know, melt your coconut oil a little bit, you can do that as well. I find that once you melt coconut oil, it never really gets back to the same thickness that it was before. And I'm actually putting my hands right in here and I'm gonna be mixing almost like you're cooking, you know, like a dough. I'll show you. So I'm just flipping and cooking, just almost like you're making bread, right? And it's relaxing to even do this. And even right now I'm getting the aroma from those beautiful herbs, and you know, my love gave me a towel so that I can wipe my hands off when I'm done. Okay, I'm actually almost done here. It doesn't take very long to incorporate it. If you also wanted, with the coconut oil, I love what coconut oil does for skin and how moisturizing it is. But if you wanted, there's all kinds of beautiful oils you can add. If you are a bear grease like person, right? Some of you are, right? You know, there's bear grease people on this presentation. I know that. I love bear grease, but I only use it, you know, I use it rarely and usually medicinally, but you could easily make a bear grease sugar scrub, okay? You're still gonna get that, like, you know how bear grease, really good bear grease still smells like beef stew? You know, you're gonna get beef stew, but I think that for some people, the smell of beef stew is relaxing, so it works, okay? So check this out. Oh my God, it is the perfect texture. You guys, you got the perfect amounts to make a gorgeous scrub. And all of the mint and the lavender in here goes perfectly down the drain. Like, you don't have to worry about it at all. But now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my jar again. I'm gonna put my sugar scrub into here. If any of you guys are entrepreneurs, you know, and I've never been good at that. I've never been good at selling stuff. I give everything away. But if you guys are entrepreneurs, you know, and you're trying to do some fundraising, $35 right here. How long did that take? right? It took 5 minutes probably, and I could have gone faster. And you know, like this one, this one has some fake weird coloring in it. It's, you know, just because they used oils instead of actual plants, which I don't like as much. I love using those plants right on my skin. I feel like that's what the creator intended. But like, you know, we have this amazing scrub. I can't wait. It smells like coconut, lavender, and mint. You know, I get the coconut, the smell of the coconut oils in there. It's fantastic. I can't wait to use that later today. It's going to be so relaxing. So that's it, you guys. That's all it is to make like some bougie. If you wanted to make a salt scrub, use salt instead of sugar. That's literally all that it is. And you're doing something amazing for yourself. Can you imagine giving those away as Christmas gifts, right? Or you know, like if you don't celebrate Christmas, any holiday, birthdays, whatever, put a cute little, you guys make all kinds of birch bark baskets, don't you? Get one of your birch bark baskets together, put this gorgeous scrub. You know, you can even put like a cute little sticker on it with a label. Put some hand sanitizer in there that we're gonna make today. If you were on the balm, we made a cedar balm. You know, put that in there. Can you imagine giving that to someone as a gift? I can make all that stuff and I still want it. So, you know, like I love getting those kinds of presents, you know, even though I can make it. So just amazing stuff, okay? Any questions on that sugar scrub? Oh, okay. Oh, like have leaked, yeah. I was just looking at the comments. My oil didn't leak at all. Just to let you guys know, like the double bagging was perfect for it. So, but if anyone had that problem, you can honestly just use the coconut oil you probably have up in your cupboard. It's most of it's food grade anyway. I'm sure this is probably food grade. But like think about it, okay? Think about the ingredients in here: coconut oil, mint, lavender. That's it, right? Oh, and sugar. Coconut oil, mint, lavender, and sugar. 4 ingredients, right? That to me, that's bougie. You know what I mean? Like they had to put, look at this ingredients list again, okay, of this $50 scrub. I'm sorry to go on about that, but it's a big deal because, you know, you're putting all of that into your body and it's unnecessary, right? So I hate that. Now, if you wanted to use other things in your sugar scrub besides, let's say you're not a big fan of mint. I'm a big fan of mint and I'm a big fan of lavender, but you could also use some rose hips. You know, the rose berries, the berries off of the rose bush. If you have a rose bush growing outside your house or in the ditch next to your house or something, you can pick some of those rose hips and dry them. And, you know, these are a little large for a sugar scrub. So all you do is you just put them in your mortar and pestle, or, you know, whatever you have, and you just grind them up and bam, they're the perfect texture. They'll become the perfect texture for your sugar scrub. Roses are wonderful for skin and they're very anti-wrinkle. So let's say you wanted to make a nice mask for your face. Instead of using salt or sugar, you can just use some powdered clay and some ground rose hips, okay? If you wanted a cooling face mask, use ground clay and the powdered mint that you got from Isabel, okay? But if you want something that's anti-wrinkle, rose hips are amazing for skin and for keeping skin really young and refreshed and preventing wrinkles, okay? They're full of antioxidants as well, so they destroy free radicals that might cause skin cancer. So plus roses smell amazing and feel amazing on the skin. So you can use rose hips. If you want something if you have issues with skin inflammation, use those lavender flowers, and you can even add some chamomile flowers, right? Are you guys familiar with chamomile tea? That relaxing tea? Chamomile is just as relaxing for the skin, and chamomile grows wild all over Minnesota, Wisconsin, and down into Nebraska. I'm trying to think of all the states I saw on here. It doesn't grow, this species of chamomile doesn't grow wild in the Dakotas, but its cousin pineapple weed which it also grows in Minnesota, does. And any of the chamomiles, the wild chamomile, the stuff from the store, look at my fingernails because of that mint. I call these ethnobotanist hands, so you guys can all have ethnobotanist hands. But the chamomile is so relaxing for the skin. So can you imagine how nice it would be? So go gather some chamomile, or if you have some in your garden, gather that chamomile, or just go to the herb shop and get some if you need to. Make a chamomile sugar scrub and put in some baggies for chamomile tea. Can you imagine like having a nice chamomile sugar scrub and your chamomile tea sitting in the tub? Like, amazing, right? That's like a weekend. That would make my weekend better. So, chamomile, rose hips. If you're looking for something, that you might just have in your kitchen cabinet that's great for your skin, that smells good, and that is antimicrobial, okay? So something that I have noticed, especially for young people, when they get a mosquito bite or when they maybe have eczema, they scratch, right? And all that stuff under their fingernails, all the germs under their fingernails get into their skin. And it often causes skin infections. You'll see MRSA, you'll see all kinds of skin eruptions and inflammations, mostly due to the introduction of bacteria into the skin. Sometimes even introducing fungi, mushroom, fungal spores into the skin. If you want something that's gonna keep your skin clean and get rid of those microbes, like let's say that you're about to go camping and your kid's gonna get stung by a bunch of mosquitoes and they're gonna be itching them, you can actually use rosemary. Like make a rosemary salt scrub. Just use some rosemary leaves. Just the rosemary. I have tons of rosemary. This is what I do for a living. You guys probably don't have a massive gallon bag of rosemary sitting in your house, and that's okay. You can just use the jar of rosemary you have up in your kitchen cabinet, and make a salt or a sugar scrub, preferably a salt scrub if you're using it for antimicrobial purposes, and make that and scrub your kid's skin with it to get rid of the microbes. If you know a kid who has really bad psoriasis or eczema, or an adult, you've probably heard of a bleach bath, right? And so they're actually recommending that you do mild bleach baths for young kids, okay? This actually is a great alternative to that and can help prevent the inflammation that's caused by those microbes, okay? Rosemary, who knew, right? Oh, and by the way, a lot of people talk about like burning sage, and I burn sage all the time. I burn all kinds of herbs and plants. I burn bare root, chaga, things like that. If you're looking for something really simple to burn that's antimicrobial instead of spraying Lysol in your house, because remember, Lysol leaves a harmful residue. If you don't have any sage around, burning rosemary is just as antimicrobial as burning rosemary is just as antimicrobial as burning sage, okay? So it's a great alternative to that. Okay, so I see a couple of questions here. So I'm assuming you meant that you have, Ms. Sharpback, you have an oily T-zone. And in that case, you can use a mild salt scrub once a week. And then you can actually use like a toner. I make a toner, if you have acne prone skin, let me tell you guys something, okay? There's a couple of plants you can use. I don't have pictures of them for you, but I'm going to tell you the names of them, and then you can Google pictures because they're so easy to find. The first one is dock, okay? D-O-C-K, dock. The dock gets these red seeds on the top. We actually call it red top in English sometimes. But it grows all over Minnesota. You'll see it in roadside ditches. That dock, the seeds of the dock, soak them in some witch hazel, just a $2 bottle of witch hazel you get at Target. And that is amazing for acne and an oily T-zone. It's fantastic for your face. And it's calming. It helps to get rid of acne, and it helps to keep your pores from getting clogged up in general. Blackheads, all that stuff, okay? So that answers those 2 questions. I also use, if I can't get a hold of Doc, I use Curly Cup Gumweed, which I have a ton of. Maybe I'll try to get it out and show you guys. But Curly Cup, like a cup that you drink out of, Curly Cup Gumweed, okay? Grows all over the place. It's like a weed. It's sticky on top. The flowers are sticky. I'll soak those in water, just make a tea, Curly Cup Gumweed tea, and I'll use that as a toner, okay? And I say this, and I don't mean to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm 46, and I'm really happy with the way that my skin looks at 46, you know? So like, and it's because of this. I use plants on my face, you know, so anyway. So Curly Cup Gumweed and Doc are wonderful for skin. Okay. Oh, for rosacea, it's the same stuff. We can you know, talk more about this because I know we want to get to the hand sanitizer, but rosacea is inflammatory. So I like to use anti-inflammatories on skin for people who have rosacea. I use the dried dock tops, like I was talking about a second ago. And I also use nettles, stinging nettles, which I think we might have used, maybe we had them as a tea, I can't remember, but in one of our workshops, we used nettles, and they're fantastic. If you, I see the question about bee stings, plantain. Google, not the green banana plantain, but the leaf that literally, I guarantee you, is growing right outside your door, in the cracks of your driveway, or in the cracks of, you know, the parking lot of your apartment building, in the little green, you know where I see it growing a lot? In the median along the highway too. And I'm not saying you should walk across the highway to get plantain. I'm just saying it grows everywhere. So plantain is the best for bee stings and bug bites. The other thing is you know, asema, tobacco, chanli, if you're Lakota or Dakota, chandi, tobacco, chew up a little bit of it and put it on the bee stings, and it will instantly take the sting away. Okay. And I always use organic tobacco, especially if I'm going to be chewing on it like that, just because there's so much crap in cigarettes that you do not want to get into your body. So I highly suggest organic tobacco. But I keep a pack of it around. I don't smoke. And I keep a pack of it around just for that purpose, for bee stings and bug bites. It's amazing. But plantain also works amazingly well, and the 2 of them can even work together. Okay. All right. So let's make our hand sanitizer, and then we can answer more questions. Okay. Hand sanitizer is equally simple. Okay. Now you were given a bottle of aloe vera gel in a 2-ounce bottle with a squeeze top. Okay. Because we're making a hand sanitizer gel. Sometimes I make a hand sanitizer oil, and instead of using aloe vera gel, I just use olive oil, okay, along with my essential oils. Why are we using aloe, and why are we using olive oil, you know, things like that? Why not rubbing alcohol, okay? So this is some bougie hand sanitizer that my husband bought at our organic co-op, okay? It has peppermint and eucalyptus and aloe vera gel, but it's like the vast majority of it is rubbing alcohol. It's just isopropyl rubbing alcohol, which is cheap, right? It's cheap. You can buy a bottle of rubbing alcohol for like $1 or something. But why do people like to use alcohol? It is effective at killing microbes, okay? It's effective at killing bacteria and destroying viruses, but it is extremely drying. So if you are having to use, especially right now, constantly spraying your hands with alcohol-based hand sanitizers, it can be actually quite drying for your hands. And God forbid you have a cut on your hands and you do that, because it's painful. And if you're a gardener like I am, you know, you're always going to have some kinds of open cuts and things like that on your hands. So I tend not to use, if I use any alcohol at all in my hand sanitizer, it's very little. But you know, some people really like alcohol-based hand sanitizers. If you're using alcohol as your base, I still highly suggest you use some aloe vera gel and essential oils to keep your skin from getting dry, but also because these essential oils are incredibly effective. Another problem with alcohol-based hand sanitizers is the presence in a lot of them of triclosan and other antibacterial agents, okay? Antimicrobial agents. Triclosan is a hormone disruptor. It's a known hormone disruptor. They've actually banned triclosan from soaps. They haven't banned, the FDA hasn't banned it from hand sanitizer, but it's so dangerous, they banned it from its use in soaps. So, you know, do not use, if you see hand sanitizer around and it has triclosan in it, do not buy that. And certainly, please do not use it on your children, okay? Especially not when you can make a gorgeous homemade hand sanitizer for a fraction of the price that's more effective, just as effective, if not more effective, and doesn't have the dangerous stuff in it, okay? In this case, we are going to use our aloe vera gel. And I'm actually, I wanted to say, if you wanted to go down to your local Target and buy a bottle of witch hazel for a couple of dollars, you could actually split this aloe vera gel up and make 2 bottles of hand sanitizer, okay? You can buy these little 2-ounce bottles for 50 cents at Walmart if you go to Walmart or Target. Buy another one, you can make 2 with the ingredients they sent you and a $2 bottle of witch hazel. You can make 2 bottles of hand sanitizer. And as I was saying, this doubles as an insect repellent, so it's great. Dear, can you hand me a small bowl? Dear? Okay, he's playing video games and has headphones on, so he doesn't hear me. So I'm gonna use this bowl, okay? All right, so I'm gonna take my hand sanitizer, and you don't, if you wanted to, okay, just super simple, dump out a little bit of your aloe vera gel and just add your essential oils. I put the recipe and the number of drops right on here. So if you don't want to, mess around, like I want to show you guys a way to extend this and make even more. But if you wanted to, just take your aloe vera gel, add your 20 drops of clove, your 15 drops of cinnamon, your 10 drops of lemon, your 7 drops of eucalyptus, your 5 drops of rosemary, okay? You could totally just stop and bam, shake it up and you're done, okay? Very, very simple. You have all the ingredients you need right in front of you. But if you wanted, like I said, you know, say you have a bottle of rubbing alcohol laying around. I like witch hazel better. Witch hazel is a plant that grows from Minnesota all the way out east. I find it a lot when I'm in places like North and South Carolina, but witch hazel is a plant that's been used for thousands of years as a medicine by indigenous people all over the world. Not just here in North America, but even over like the Celts. The Celtic people use witch hazel in Europe for skin, okay? So witch hazel is fantastic for your skin anyway. It's anti-inflammatory. It's great as a toner. So if you get a hold of some witch hazel leaves, you could actually make your own witch hazel, okay? But this is a witch hazel toner that just like I said, it's just a couple bucks at Target. So I'm gonna dump out half of my aloe vera gel from this bottle, okay? All right, and I'm going to add some witch hazel, or like I said, you can use rubbing alcohol, or if you wanted an ultra moisturizing hand sanitizer, instead of adding witch hazel or alcohol, add some olive oil, okay? All right, there, all blended up, okay? Perfect. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my essential oils. I love these little bottles, and I can't believe that Isabel and her help put all these cool, amazing little labels on all of this stuff. Like it's just crazy to me how awesome that is. But this is the eucalyptus, and if I just look at my recipe, I'm just going to add 7 drops. You gotta remove the lid okay? 7 drops of eucalyptus. So let's see how well that works. Sometimes these take a second to get going. And if you're really worried about it, if you can count, like sometimes what I'll do, if I can't get these to work as a dropper, I will actually use a dropper, like, let me show you. I'll just use one of these little doodads right here, if you have any. But if not, you know, you can kind of try to eyeball it. Here's the thing. It's not gonna hurt you if you add 9 drops instead of 7, okay? It's not gonna hurt. But I'm gonna try to, 1, 2, 6, 7, okay? So 7, that was 7 drops of eucalyptus, y'all. Here's my lemon, and on my recipe, I've been using this recipe for so long. I should have it memorized by now. 10 drops of lemon. Yeah, I'm not able to get those going. At least, I mean, if I waited around for 5 minutes for them to start dropping, it would probably work fine, but okay. Here's my lemon. My cinnamon. I'm glad these are labeled because I'm just sort of going on here. Okay. My rosemary. Rosemary is, oh, here's another thing, okay? You guys have this gorgeous rosemary essential oil in here, okay? I don't know if we're gonna be going back to school or if our kids are going to be going back to school in the fall. I personally think that my family is probably gonna homeschool, but if your kids go back to school and you're worried, you know, this is a great hand sanitizer to pack into their bag, by the way, and let them take to school every day with them. But also, even if you're worried about lice, and you know, one thing I hate is how lice has been made to be this like poor people thing, or like an Indian thing, or a brown people thing. One of the biggest lice outbreaks in the entire United States 2 years ago was in Beverly Hills schools, okay? So don't ever let anyone make you think that lice is like a poor people thing, okay? It's not. And actually, the interesting thing, everyone thinks that lice is because your hair isn't clean enough, whereas like super clean hair is way easier for the lice to grab onto than hair that's oily. So like if you know people that use oil in their hair on a daily basis, maybe to slick their hair back into a braid, they usually will not get lice. So lice has nothing to do with cleanliness. But what I was gonna say is rosemary oil is an incredible repellent for lice, okay? So you can just take some of this rosemary oil, rub it on your hands in the morning and run it through your kid's hair, or like if you're a teacher, they'll smell amazing, by the way. They'll kind of smell like pizza, which is, they'll probably get flirted with by some people. But you know, it's an amazing smell. So like, it also repels lice. So you can also take some rosemary oil and put a few drops into your shampoo bottle. And you've made that, like, rosemary shampoo for kids is like $40 for a little bottle. And it's supposed to be like a lice repellent shampoo. You can make your own for a fraction of the price, okay? I'm gonna put my rosemary oil in there. And finally, my clove oil. Clove is incredibly antimicrobial. This hand sanitizer kind of has a smell reminiscent of pumpkin pie, which I really like. So, okay, I've added my essential oils in there. I'm gonna put my lid back on. And I'm just gonna shake that up. All right, and I'm done. That's my hand sanitizer. That's all it is. Oh yeah, super moisturizing, feels great. It's coating my skin, which is really nice. You can even like kind of get under your fingernails, put that hand sanitizer under your fingernails. Smells amazing. It's relaxing, so it's kind of aromatherapeutic. And anything that might have been on my hands is now dead. Okay, so, and also, okay, just a word. Scientists did these surveys and like watched people after they went to the bathroom. They watched them wash their hands. Here's a little trivia for you. What is the most unwashed part of your hands. Okay, think about that for a second. So the part that people miss when they wash their hands, where do they miss? Okay, they found that people miss the thumb of their dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, you miss the thumb of your right hand. So people wash their hands, watch me, like this, right? And so people are missing the thumb of their dominant hand. So I'm just telling you that so you can kind of be aware of that. Now, every time you wash your hands, you'll think of me and you'll be like, oh, I have to wash the thumb of my dominant hand. Make sure I get that. But yeah, it's just, it's an interesting bit of trivia and something for you to think about. And even to tell your kids, like, hey, make sure you get your whole hands. Okay, so is the witch hazel also an emollient? Does it help the oil stay in solution instead of separate? What is the function, and does it have antiseptic properties? Yes. So the thing is this witch hazel does actually, this one actually has aloe in it, but it also does have alcohol in it, rubbing alcohol. But the essential oils help to moisturize your skin. But the aloe that's in there is emollient, it's moisturizing. And then also the witch hazel, the actual plant that's in here, is toning, anti-inflammatory, and moisturizing. Witch hazel is an amazing plant. So yeah, that really helps. I just like the addition of the witch hazel just because it thins up the aloe. That's the only reason, really. It does not help it to stay in solution. So it will separate. So when you have this, you'll have to, eventually it will separate and you'll have to shake it back up, okay? Especially if I just left it sitting around, it will probably separate fairly quickly, like in about 2 days, okay? Any more questions? So I have some aloe vera gel left, and I'm actually gonna make a second hand sanitizer / bug spray for myself and my kids in a little bit when you guys are gone. And just so you guys know, I keep everything, okay? I drink out of old spaghetti jars. I drink water out of old spaghetti jars, but like I keep those little jelly jars in the lids, you know, those jars you get Cracker Barrel or wherever, or, you know, steal them from a hotel. I keep these, and I actually use these, and I put hand sanitizer in them. I can carry a little glass jar around like this in my purse. A lot of people can't because they're just rough. But you know, they're perfect for that, or perfect to keep one in like every room of your house. And that way kids can like use it before they go out the door. So sometimes, so Tanya asked a question, do you add any additional oils for bug repellent? Okay, ticks, okay? If I am specifically making a tick repellent, I will add geranium or rose geranium oil, okay? And it's inexpensive. You can buy a good sized bottle of it pretty cheap. This is how my life is, just so you guys know. So this is my thing just for some of my essential oils. Talk about obsessive. But I was just gonna look for my rose geranium. What'd you say? For my rose geranium oil. Oh, so here's the geranium oil, you know, and I get asked all the time, what kind of essential oils do you use? Do you only use, you know, Young Living, or do you only use, what's the other, oh, doTERRA. I do have some, yeah, like I have some doTERRA here. I use anything that I can get my hands on. I cannot afford to buy the $80 bottle of frankincense oil from doTERRA or Young Living or whatever it is. I can't afford that. When someone gives that to me as a gift, it's like, oh my gosh, it's an amazing gift. So I love those bottles of essential oil, but I can only use the, you know, I take whatever I can get. I know that there's quality issues and that some essential oils are better than others, but I can't worry about that, and neither can most of my friends, okay? All right, so any questions on any of this stuff? I don't even know what time it is, and I've just been talking and talking. Any other questions?
It's about 2:00. Does anyone have any other things they'd like to ask about?
Or comments, whatever.
Anybody want to sing us a song?
I just to say, I hope you guys are staying healthy and doing all the stuff that you need to stay healthy. Remember, eating right is the most important part of staying healthy. So make sure that you're getting lots of fermented foods, lacto fermented foods. Take a spoonful of vinegar every day. Keep your insides healthy as well as your outside. I see the question there. How do you prep plantain for your stings? You just pick the leaves and chew it and put it on. And if you don't want to chew it yourself, just grind it up and put it on there. Just grind it up into a paste. That's called a poultice. When you use plants directly on your skin, it's called a poultice. So yeah, just grind the plantain up and put it directly on the sting or the bite or the burn. Plantain's also amazing for burns. Okay.
Where's a good place to get essential oils?
It depends on how much you want to pay. You can buy them online. Mountain Rose Herbs has amazing essential oils. Mountain Rose Herbs. Oh my God, I love your earrings. But Mountain Rose Herbs is fantastic, but their oils are kind of expensive. So like if someone else is paying and I'm holding a workshop and they want the best, I buy Mountain Rose Herbs essential oils. I also do I love Young Living and I love doTERRA. There are issues with both of those companies. I think one of the guys is a Trump supporter or something, So I think about things like that when I buy them, but if someone gives them to me, I'll definitely take them. But like your local co-op, are you in the cities?
Yeah.
So what's that place called? Oh man. Now the name is slipping my mind. What's that herb shop called?
Present Moments.
Yeah, Present Moments. Present Moments has a huge wall of essential oils, and their prices are not that bad. Like this one came Cypress Oil. This is the brand they carry at Present Moments, and this was only $8. And this is a pretty darn good brand. So yeah.
Good.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Any other questions? You guys are so awesome, and I really appreciate you sitting around watching me talk about plants. I could do this most of the day, so.
Well, we could listen to you all day.
Gosh. Thanks, guys, so much, really.
I love the garlic behind you.
Oh, yeah, my garlic. I'm so, I really, no, I love that way more than I probably should. Like, I look at it sometimes and I'm like, oh, my garlic. That's how crazy I am, y'all. Also, you guys, make sure to fill out the evaluation. But also, if there's other things you guys are interested in, make sure to let these guys know so that they can put more of these amazing workshops together for you. I did a workshop yesterday on making fermented foods, like how to make sauerkraut. It's just salt and cabbage. And I think that I take for granted that everyone knows how to make sauerkraut because it's chopped up cabbage and salt. But I'm surprised. I was really shocked at the number of questions people had on how to do that. So we made sauerkraut and we made kimchi, and I talked about how to make pickles. So things like that are really important right now. Food preservation. A lot of you guys probably have gardens or like to forage and things. So, let these guys know what you're interested in so that they can put more amazing workshops together for you. Okay.
We appreciate you so much, Linda, for joining us for these last 3 events. Hopefully in the future we can do some more. Fred, thank you again for coming and joining us, and for the prayer and the songs. We just appreciate everyone so much. And then all the participants, we couldn't do it without you. So, thank you for, joining, and watch our Facebook in the future for more events. Anybody have anything else you'd like to add or say, or?
If anyone needs to reach me, you can find me on Facebook, okay? And send me a message if you have questions. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Linda.